New Radio Sports Network and 105.1 The GOAT Gibraltar getting ready to head over to Pembine, where they will face Goodman Pembine for the second time this season. We're joined right now by the head coach of the Gibraltar Vikings, Justin Burress. And Coach, let's go to Tuesday here. How important was it for you? Obviously, a big win was never really in doubt, but how important was it for you that not only could you kind of rest your starters a little bit, but really the whole roster got some good playoff experience on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a great night, great atmosphere at Gibraltar. The rally flags were given out before the game, so everybody was flying those Viking flags or Viking towels, I should say. And we got everybody a lot of playing time. Really, the only downfall was we had one injury come out of it, and unfortunately, Nathan Merkel, who came in and was playing big minutes for Trevor, he rolled his ankle and he's going to be done for the season. So that was the only downfall of the night.
And, obviously that will be something that we'll have to keep an eye out on, because obviously, you need those big bodies in the middle, especially moving on here with the playoffs.
Yeah, and during this time, we've had sickness and other things that have kept us from a full roster. So you throw an injury or two into the mix, and that can be devastating. So hopefully everybody, I haven't gotten any phone calls yet of who we're going to be missing tonight, but I'm hopefully we're going to be full strength, and besides having Nathan out, and for the remainder of the tournament we're full strength.
We'll knock on wood on that. We don't want you to get any other additional phone calls either. How has practice been since Tuesday? I mean, obviously big win on Tuesday. You won that game by almost 50. You had a big win against Goodman Pembine. Is this one of those where you kind of let the players ride that high, or do you have to try to keep them grounded a little bit as well?
I would say that we enjoyed that win, but our practices were probably the hardest of the season. There was good energy. I felt like, especially on Wednesday, with some days of rest in between, we could go heavy on conditioning, and we've really been focusing on fundamentals. We've done some scout team things. We've done some situational things. We've even worked on, it sounds kind of silly, but we've even practiced huddling faster, how we want to communicate in huddles, put a minute up on the clock, put 30 seconds on the clock. A lot of those situational things just to kind of sharpen the saw, really stay mentally focused, as well as physically focused.
And your team is proof that sometimes the first meeting doesn't mean for much, as, obviously first half of the conference schedule, you had some struggles. Second half, you kind of ran roughshod over a bunch of teams. When you reflect on that Goodman Pembine game, what kind of stuck out to you that maybe led to some of those sharpening the saw moments?
Well, that was really during the busiest stretch of our season. If you remember, we were playing them. I think we had five games in 7 days, and that was game 4, where we had just come off of 3 games in a row. So we had played a Monday, Tuesday, or I can't remember exactly how it was. It must have been a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or something like that. But it was our 3rd consecutive game, or 4th consecutive game, and the guys were tired. We knew that it was going to be, not only that, but then we had to travel. So we're looking at that schedule, and we're kind of saying, gosh, this is going to be kind of mentally tough, physically tough tonight. They came out right out the gates and were very active on defense, kind of surprised us a little bit. I called an early timeout and just said, come on, we got to pick up the slack. We know we're kind of bruised up. We had Bela out with an ankle injury, and then later on he got smashed in the face, so one of my top defenders is out. And then Sam basically just said, I'm going to take over the game. And he ended up scoring 38 points. They tried a box and one on him. They tried a number of different things to slow him down. But ultimately, you saw the box score at the end. We won it pretty handily in the end by 30.
How have they looked since that game? Obviously, you probably have tried to find some tape of that team. You have experience, but sometimes, maybe they change up some things. Maybe some other players are starting to step up a little bit more. Anything in maybe more recent film that has stuck out to you?
Yeah, they're senior-led. They play better at Goodman than they play at Pembine, just because there's so many. They actually have 9 seniors from Goodman and only 1 from Pembine, I believe. So we happen to have them at Pembine, and their coach, I remember him making that comment. And I've seen some of their games at Goodman, and they definitely play with a different energy. They just took down Rubino recently. I know that Taylor wasn't playing their leading scorer, so that's 28 points per game that was out. He's been dealing with a ankle injury. That's kind of the rumor on the street, but I'm sure that we'll see him in the playoffs as they got that first round bye to rest. So it's a team that they kind of go up and down as far as Goodman, Pembine, and right now they're playing good ball. So we're going into this game not thinking about that 30-point win. It's going to be, I think, a much closer score, but ultimately I think that we're still, we want to prove that we should have been the lower seed. We should have gotten that 4 seed.
To kind of, I guess, have a little bit of a joke here, is the lighting better at Goodman than at Pembine?
So that goes back to the NEW comment with the lighting. I don't know if the lighting is better there. I think that they just, it feels like more of a home court for them. It would be the same as if we were still combined. I mean, we did football with Sevastopol years ago, but that would be like if we played basketball with Sevastopol and you're traveling one week and you're practicing in their facility, and then they're traveling to you the next week. And when it's in Goodman, more of your friends are showing up and more of your parents are showing up. It was a pretty sparse crowd in Pembine. There were not a lot of people for home fans when we played them there. So I would expect a much more enthusiastic atmosphere from both parties tonight.
And this game will be in Goodman or Pembine, just to kind of confirm that.
It will be in Goodman.
It will be in Goodman. Okay. Very good. All right. Fill in the blank time, Coach. Gibraltar takes home the victory if they're able to do what?
We need to stop them in transition. We got a little lazy on getting back on defense last time, so we need to make sure that we're not giving up any transition points. We need to take away their top scorers, and we need to take care of the ball. I think then those 3 things will help us out.
It's Gibraltar and Goodman Pembine tonight. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. We'll have our coverage begin at 6:30 p.m. on 105.1 The GOAT and New Radio Sports Network. Coach, good luck, and we'll have you on after the game.
Thanks, Tim.
And you're listening to the New Radio Sports Network.